Hey folks, Homer Ibarra here at day 2 of E3 2011 in the South Hall. I'm at the Namco Bandai booth, and we're taking a look at Inversion with the producer, Rick White. How's it going, Rick?
You know, it's going pretty well, thank you.
All right, how's your show going so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. We've had a lot of people come through playing the multiplayer and asking a lot of questions about the gravity.
Cool, so we're taking a look at Inversion here, and I'm going to just step aside so our cameraman can get a good shot of it. So this is a third-person action game set in kind of like a post-apocalyptic world, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah. The world's basically been invaded by an enemy force that's using gravity to overwhelm the enemy. And so now we're basically seeing the game where we're using heavy G, which he just used to pull down stuff. Now he created cover. And he can also use light G, which will be making guys float in the air. So you can't really use cover. Cover isn't as safe as it used to be in a cover-based game now.
All right, so we're seeing a lot of gravity, a lot of floating. Talk about the powers that we got here and how you use gravity to your advantage, or even how it works against you.
Well, what you do is you have heavy gravity and low gravity. So that was light gravity, and so that basically allows you to get objects floating in the air. Then you can grab them as weapons and throw them. You can use it as cover, so if he were to float a car, for example, he could pull that car, and that car would take damage as the enemy's shooting at him. And there's heavy gravity, which you would use to pin a bunch of guys to the ground. You can then like throw a grenade. So we have mobile cover, and what he just did there was a shockwave, which is more of a close-in defense. So if you got a lot of guys swarming you, you can do the shockwave with the gravity, which either pins them to the ground or blasts them to the air.
Very, very cool. So now let's talk about our protagonist here. This dude is in some serious trouble, apparently. And what's he trying to do?
Yeah, so Davis and his partner Leo, pretty much the world's been invaded, and what you're seeing right here is a vector change, by the way. So you're fighting guys on the wall. The world's been invaded, and so these guys are fighting back. But more importantly, Davis's daughter's been kidnapped and has gone missing. So he's trying to find her through this war-torn world.
All right, so you mentioned two characters, Leo and Davis. Do you play primarily as this gentleman, Davis, or is there some switch back and forth between the two characters?
Yeah, you play as Davis, but in co-op you can play as Leo. So you and your partner can work together using gravity to, one guy can pop guys up in the air while the other guy engages them, or he can pull cover like a car and use that as cover while the other guy's engaging the bad guys.
All righty, so look at these enemies. These guys are pretty brutal, man. What's their story?
Well, we don't know much about them. They're called the Lutadors. They invaded the world with advanced technology that manipulated gravity. But when they invaded, it also disrupted the gravity field in the world itself. And so you have these weird cases now where there's zero gravity areas. You can see lava flowing across the top of the screen. So it's really messed up the world as well.
So he's got to fix it.
He's got to fix it or figure out what the hell's going on. But more importantly, he wants to get his daughter back.
Get her back. That's the most important thing. So it looks like you guys are, and the game, to the naked eye for me, it looks pretty polished. But you guys got a little bit ways to go. When is the game coming out, and what for what platforms?
Inversion's coming out in February 7th, 2012. And it comes out on PlayStation 3, 360, and the PC.
Awesome. Well, Rick, thanks for joining us. That's your look at Inversion from the Namco